People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one-boy cuddly toy, my up, my down, my pride and joy. People, let me tell you about him. He's so much fun. Whether we're talking man to man or whether we're talking sun to sun, 'cause he's my best friend. Yeah, he's...
You'd have more intro energy here, or if you want to start on the road?
No, right here.
Okay.
Right now.
All right, let's do it.
I've got beef jerky and cucumber Gatorade. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for a nap. All right, Spike, you've ridden this bike plenty of times.
Oh, yeah. Used to own one just like it. Well, not just like it. Same motor.
Sort of like it.
Sort of like it.
Had the same innards.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching a mass exodus in my garage. No more Bronco. No more R9T. No more
Wait,
XSR.
the Bronco's gone?
Bronco's gone, baby.
I didn't realize the Bronco was gone.
Bronco's gone, baby. That they see you later. I like that car, but that's a different vlog. But yet, this Svartpilen remains.
Honestly, not what I would have anticipated from you at all.
Yeah, people keep asking. They're like, well, are you getting rid of that? And I was like, well, why? Why would I get rid of it?
And I ask, why wouldn't you get rid of it?
Well, that's what I want to talk about. I'm going to ask you why I didn't get rid of it, and then I'll see what I can come up with as to why I didn't get rid of it, and people can watch a conversation that's never been had unfold without any sort of script or...
Has this conversation never been had, or have we been having this conversation the entire time you've had this motorcycle and I've known you?
Well, wait, I don't remember that. But then again, I'm pregnant, so I'm like, I don't remember my name, where I live. I'm on some other planet. But yeah, let's come on, let's go for a ride, shall we? It's a beautiful 110 degrees out. Let's do this.
Yeah, and I know you'd rather be on the 919 right now, but I'm taking it back.
I know, but we're gonna dip home after this. But I made a video in the beer cooler where we make videos when it's 114 degrees out, just being like, this bike's ruining my life. Like, I hate it. It's so good. Ooh,
the single-cylinder fart cannon.
I know, but it's my fart cannon.
There's something about just silly single-cylinder thumpers that make me happy.
Yeah, it's very hooligan-esque, you know? Ooh, big nail. Good thing I saw that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Look at that!
That's like a f***ing wheel ender right there, not just a tire ender.
You could just, you could crucify Mickey Mouse with that, or Minnie Mouse, whatever.
You're an equal opportunity crucifier?
Yeah. There's no gender bias. Now you've got me thinking about fart cannons, and I'm like, yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe end of video. Maybe, oh, it's a fart cannon. It's got a quirky engine. It's niche. It looks like me 40 years from now would design it.
Mm-hmm.
It's futuristic looking. And yeah, it sounds like a flatulent sort of bike. It's got that single cylinder thump
yeah,
to
it's
it.
got that I ate beans for dinner thump.
Do they have beans in Switzerland or wherever the hell? Well, wait,
Austria.
no, they don't make them there anymore. They make them in Austria.
Yeah, that's an Austrian motorcycle. I'm sure they have beans there.
They gotta have at least 1 or 2 beans there.
That or they're just like eating nothing but kielbasa and they're getting those like nasty meat farts. Like you.
Yeah, kielbasa will f you up. Oh, green light. Oh, yes. All right, Spike, you said you're surprised that but are you really that I'm selling the R9T over the Svartpilen? Like, let's make that comparison real quick. Yeah, no, go for it.
So my initial impression was like, so when you had the XSR, I understood why you were getting rid of the XSR, because it was coming back from rentals and it was attracting hooligans to ride it, and it needed a lot of maintenance, and it felt like you were spending a lot of your time on the XSR, and you were like, you know what, screw this. My time is worth more than this silly little XSR 900 right here. Even though it was like, it's not technically your starter bike, but I kind of consider it your starter bike because your other one was like a CB 160, and that's basically like a bicycle.
It was the first bike I bought with my license. Was like zing XSR 900.
That still blows my mind that was the choice that you made, but also it doesn't, because I totally understand who you are kind of as a human being. So
yeah, nonsensical.
But then you told me you were getting rid of the R9T, and I sat there and I thought about it, and I was like, why? It's such a great bike. You get nothing but dads coming to rent it and tell you how awesome it is.
Yes.
And you have had nothing but issues with the Svartpilen. I remember your dashboard was getting all weird. You had that battery issue.
The slave clutch.
Yeah, the slave cylinder went out. You had a lot of problems with that motorcycle, and it was weird to me because it's 9 times out of 10 when we go to vlog, you're on the Svartpilen and not the R9T, and I still came to the conclusion that you would sell the Svartpilen before the R9T.
Whoa, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't think that. I thought since you have owned an SMCR, you know the life. I thought you would maybe relate a little bit more as to why I would keep it.
So I get why I love the SMCR, but I feel like we came at it at slightly different angles, because I was there for just absolute hooligan shenaniganery, which is not a word, but it is now, shenaniganery. I was all there for that. I wanted to skid the rear tire. I wanted to learn to do baby wheelies, and that didn't really feel like the Whitney energy, but there's still some great rideability, and there's some awesome features in the platform there that I understand why you keep coming back to it, because it's easy to ride, and it's fun. It's a fun bike. But then I was thinking, you know, oh, you really like bottom heavy motorcycles, and you like them to not be super duper plugged into your brainstem. The R9T feels more like the kind of bike you would hang on to. You know what I mean?
Yes, without a doubt. And it's almost strange now that you talk about it, because like, I always thought the R9T was the big tittied lady I was too scared to date because it was so pretty. And I was like, hey, you know, and I just kind of like always stuttered around it, but it was such a good ride, and it really satiated the vintage lover part of me. It has nothing with it, you know. It's just, you're getting World War II airplane energy and a speedometer, and then that's it. Fuck you if you want anything else. And I always really liked that. But I think when it comes down to it, and the type of riding that I do, city riding, highway riding over and over again, I'm not taking the R9T out to hill country ever. I wish I did, but I, you know, did it once or twice. We're not like cruising, and it's a cruiser. And I'm not living that lifestyle where the Svart can tear it up on the highway real easy. No problem.
Yeah.
Super, super lightweight. Easy to do whatever with. Great gas mileage. Fun city bike. It's way more fun to lane filter with this bike.
Yes.
Then the R9T
God.
is just kind of like a big hunky-dunky cruiser, but it's also so pretty that it's like, don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
This, I don't care. Like, we took these off. These are just like plastic, cheap, replaceable gas tank bits. But the R9T is the perfect, like, look at this. It's sexy. I'm gonna park it here and be nice. I am doing more urban enduroing. with this guy.
Like you did the alley cat scramble on that.
Oh yeah, and Lucas was on the R9T and he's like, this sucks. he said he would have preferred the XSR.
Wow, that says a lot right there.
How much does that say? It's also like the clutch pull on that has always been super heavy by design.
Yeah.
And so if you're sitting in the city with that, your left hand gets pretty fat real quick. But it's not fun. It's more of an exercise. Where this has a quick shifter, I don't use it, but it's there.
So it sounds like you're basically just using the Svart as just, it's like partially practical and partially just silly, stupid fun, and it's that middle of the Venn diagram that just hits all the things for you. You've got, you know, your old school looks, which I know you're all about. You've got your easy to ride thing. And I don't think you've had any issues specifically with the motor. Like I never had any motor issues with my bike. So in that sense, it's reliable. It's lightweight. Yeah, no, it does kind of make sense that you're deciding to keep it, but I just am surprised that you're keeping it for such analytical reasons. I know, right? It is strange, but also the times I've gone off-road with this, way more fun than the R9T. Oh yeah. Like, well, the off-road parts of the Alley Cat Scramble, there's no issue with that. Where Lucas, it's all shaft drive, baby. So it's not really what you want. And I was having a fucking blast, no problems. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I really would, because every time we talk about, you know, giblet tingles, and it just comes back, it surprises me that motorcycle does it so much for you. Yeah, it's my three-legged dog. Like, it's almost like the R9T, I feel bad for selling it, but at the same time, I feel even worse for just parking it in the garage. I'm like, you don't deserve this life. You deserve to be, this engine can go for 300,000 miles, no problem. It's never. So it needs to roam. Yes, it needs to roam. It's too sexy to hide in my garage. Where this is like the three-legged dog that, you know what though? I also waited. I contacted Husqvarna. I'm like, when is the Svart and Svartpilen coming out? Like, I've been waiting 6 years. Like, I've waited forever for this bike to come out. So it might take a little while for that excitement and relief of finally getting one to ease up, you know. They also don't make that bike anymore. They also don't make it anymore. So it's like that if you let it go, it could be that bike that you regret letting go of forever. Yeah, how many years did they make it for? 3? I mean, it was like... Not very many. Yeah. They ceased production pretty fast on those. What a bummer. I think it's so expensive. Yeah, but I mean, how you bought yours on, like, you got a crazy deal on yours, and I saw them going at TJ's for like $8,000 all the time. Yep. That's how cheap I got mine for. A little bit more than that out the door, but also... Which is nuts! That is nuts. I always want to spank their butts when I'm going by them. Also, I mean, we have to talk about the fact that all the issues that happened with this bike, TJ's just fixed it. I didn't have to do anything, you know? Oh, that's nice. Right, so it's like, it would definitely make a difference if the battery wasn't covered under the warranty, or if I had to replace the slave cylinder myself. That would have been, I think we'd be having a different conversation. But the fact that they just like took care of it and it was in and out of there in 45 minutes, I was like, oh, okay, sick. I will say, as somebody who replaced the slave cylinder on the 690 platform, it's really not that difficult. No. It takes some like you said, 45 minutes.
I do remember though, before we gave it the tune and the full system and the SAS delete and then the fuel dongle, I was same thing that happened with Ducat with the Scrambler. I was like, this bike sucks. This bike is boring. And then it went and got a PhD in fun, right? We wrenched on it, and suddenly it was the way it always should have been, you know?
Yeah. I kept telling you when I had done mine, I was like, you just need to get this done. So I'm glad you hung on to it for that. And I guess now you get to enjoy it the way that Husqvarna wants you to enjoy it, which is cool.
And it looks it's still a head turner. It doesn't get as many like old BMW dads, just because there's a lot of them in Texas in general and a lot of them riding around. But it still is like, damn, what bike is that? Like, people are like, huh? You don't see a lot of them.
Yeah, you get more of that than any other bike that I've seen that we've been riding around.
Oh, without a doubt.
So, I guess here's a question for you. Would you ever get rid of the Svartpilen?
Probably. I mean, like, I always thought the XSR was my forever bike. I thought the R9T wasn't going to go anywhere. But then, you know, finances change, life changes. I remember dusting off the XSR because of the spider webs on it. And I'm like, this is a crime. Like, this is an actual crime. Especially for how much fun that bike is, but how much of a beast it is to handle. I also think too, like, think about the handling real quick on the XSR and the R9T and then the Svartpilen. It's like the pendulum swung way to the other side, you know?
Yeah. You went from like really wonky bad to, you know, heavy, slow cruiser handling to razor sharp, modern lightweight naked bike handling, you know?
Yeah, it really hits all those fun nuggets. What's over there? What's he riding around?
Looks like a DRZ squid.
I know, but is that like a track field down there? He's like ripping it up on the track.
I think the school's out for the summer, so he's just like, fuck it. I don't care if the principal sees me.
So I can't say that I won't give up on it, but it's like, man, if I'm going to keep living in Austin or living in a city, this is definitely the fun tooling around, ripping around, pseudo hooligan, but also pretty practical bike. And it's really easy to work on.
Yeah, it's single cylinders are brain dead simple. Like, you can just you don't need to get very deep into that. You don't have to take a bunch of plastics off. There's only 4 valves. There's 2 spark plugs, but I mean, spark plugs are easy. So it's a very simple bike to own,
also,
which is nice.
You know, oh shit, what was I just about to say? Shout out 6,000 mile intervals, service intervals.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
They did a lot of work on that motor specifically to increase the intervals, because it used to be very tight, but now it's actually usable on the street.
And it sounds funny.
Yeah, it's a fart cannon.
Do you like how it sounds? You're a big sound guy.
I don't like the way single cylinders sound generally, but there is something about the KTM dual spark single cylinder that is a little bit different.
Yeah.
It has a different sound than like a DRZ 400 or my KLR 650. It's not as agricultural. It sounds like a motorcycle engine, not like a grown-up dirt bike, you know?
Yes.
And yeah, I'm very big into the way bikes sound. If it doesn't sound good, I don't want to ride it.
So it's like, if I have my all-around ripper, and I can also get a YZ250F and a track bike, I think I might be happy for a while until my kids are grown, and then it's just Pan America and Patagonia time all day, all night. At least that's kind of the plan right now. We'll see what actually happens, but...
I mean, maybe you end up going to Patagonia on the Svartpilen.
Dude! Such a teeny tank though, but I'd try it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible off-road. I mean, it's a little bit short in the ground clearance department, but it'll do it. It'll do it for sure.
Yeah, and I don't wince as hard by bottoming it out like I do when I bottom out the R9T. I remember one time I bottomed it out and you're like, dude, I heard that.
Yup.
I was like, yeah, my wallet cried a little bit when that just happened.
I just heard the crunching and the sounds of like Cousin Bob being like, oh, that's a suspension I need to service right there.
I should just turn the title of this video into simping on the Svartpilen about the Svartpilen.
Yeah.
But let's see where I'm at a year from now. Who knows, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be taking a self-imposed break, or well, sort of self-imposed break from motorcycling for a while. When you get back to riding, you may be a totally different person all of a sudden.
Yeah, who knows? I was, you know, C-section, major surgery. I was on the XSR 2 weeks after that. That's how badly I missed it. But I was just poodling along to Target, you know. So we'll see.
There's something about being on two vehils just makes you feel alive.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yep.
All right, Spy. Thanks for joining me on this little venti simp session.
Yeah, absolutely, anytime. And I know you're gonna want to borrow the 919. It's here for you if you want it.
Oh yeah, that's definitely happening tomorrow. And then you'll never see it ever again. You'll be like, what happened to Whitney? She just moved suddenly.
Kidnapped the 919 and left.
World's longest vlog. If I just kidnap it and rode it across the country and you could only just see it from my uploads. I mean, yeah. All right, bye everybody.